Ah, all right. I believe we are live. Cool. Neat. Welcome or welcome back to another Dadvocate live stream. I am your host, Lauren, and one of the fun things about these streams that we like to pride ourselves on is we try to keep them audio only friendly. So if you are about to walk your dog or you're commuting and in your car driving or you're lifting weights at the gym, you don't have to feel the need to stare at your screen or anything like that. But if you are going to look away, the one thing I ask is that you do take one quick moment to just like the stream. Just tap it really quick. Super helps out the algorithm. It goes far. It is worth its weight in gold. It is how you can personally sponsor this channel and live stream. On that note, shout out to our super special sponsors of the stream and the channel, our YouTube members and Patreon members who, if you ever do join or are gifted a membership randomly through the live, because everybody's freakishly nice around here, you will get access to members only lives, early access, exclusive content, the Miles emote. I can't promise that you'll get exclusive access to Miles in real life. That's appears to be a me privilege, but you can at least get a Miles emote if you join. Otherwise, don't worry about it. I make a ton of free shit. Always have, always will, so don't worry. You do not have to pay me any money if you do not want to. I love our first super chat of the day comes from Darren Crook. Oh, also gifting memberships. Thank you, Darren. Says Sips Tea. He said the thing in the title. Shout out to Phil, Sam, and the Discord peeps. Hell yeah. That's another fun thing you get with your membership is access to our Discord. We have fun in there, but everybody freaks out if I go quiet for more than 2 minutes. Start putting out search parties. Okay. Sorry. Had to have a little drinky drink. All right. Well, without further ado, I think I covered all of the main stuff. I say let's get right into the theme of the stream. Now, as a fair warning, we may receive an interruption at some point during this stream. We may receive a bonus special guest. It is possible. We'll see. We might get an unexpected interruption, okay? But for now, today our theme of the stream is the T app. Have we heard of this? Are we familiar with this? Have you already been following everything going on all week and you are just like, "Oh, I cannot wait to hear what you think about it." Well, I'm not going to just start yapping away about something without all of you on the same page as us. So let's start in chapter 1. What is the T app? Now, apparently this app has been around since like 2023. It's not new. Those of you who are looking on screen right now, what we have pulled up is the T app website. And what it is described as, what it is kind of marketed as, is a dating safety tool that protects women. Now, you might be thinking, oh, that's interesting. Isn't T typically slang or lingo for just a bunch of fucking gossip? Yes, it is. But here we're going to just kind of rebrand basic run-of-the-mill gossip as safety tools that help empower women. Okay, let's see how it works. So, it recommends that you can quote-unquote find verified green flag men. I think it's important to note this is not like a dating app. Okay. The men on this app did not put themselves there. This is an app where it is woman only. It is my understanding that in order to even join the app, you need to submit either a photo identification like your driver's license or passport, or you have to just take a selfie then and there on the spot. Remember that that will be important later when we get into what has really happened with the T apps, okay? But this is very interesting because they're saying that you can use this app to find verified green flag men. Now, it also appears as though you can see here you can run background checks, identify potential catfish. They do this by incorporating associated background checking apps as well as reverse image search apps. So you can check and see if you're getting catfish. You do have to pay extra for these, okay? Verify he's not a sex offender, and check for criminal history. So these are all tools that exist outside of the T app. You can and are able to run background checks and reverse image search honestly without even paying for anything on various other websites. You don't have to upload a photo of yourself onto other websites, therefore, perhaps reducing your own intended anonymity, right? So you're able to do all of these things on your own. I'm still caught up on this first one though, the find verified green flag men. Though that's really misleading, okay? Like, let's just stop beating around the bush here. This is like a gossip channel. This is a place for women to come on here and just talk mad shit about whoever men they don't like, or, help avoid their ex from ever moving on for them, whatever it may be that a woman may have an agenda against a man. There's so many different reasons. That's what this website is. So saying that it's a place to find verified green flag men when the men have no consent or autonomy on whether or not they're even posted, that's like if a man were to take a bunch of photos of women in bikini photos that they just found online and then advertise it to men as find hot singles. They didn't consent to that though. Like, this does not survive the gender swap test so far. Michael McIntyre, thank you for the 2. Says hello everybody. Good morning to you. Yeah, over 72,000 reviews. Swipe safely. Avoid red flags. Protect your heart. So this is also another one that kind of is a big eyebrow raise to me about the features of the app here. Is I don't really have any problem with the sex offender search, the reverse image search, the background checks. I actually don't have any issue with that. Of course I have an issue with the way that they're marketing it as like, you can find good men on here. That's not exactly, I mean, just because they're not criminals doesn't mean that they are good green flag men, nor that they want to be found. Which brings me to my next point, phone number lookup. Yeah, that's a little sketchy, because that, again, this one would not survive the gender swap test, because there's really nothing stopping women from just posting a photo of a man that they saw that they found attractive and being like, okay, now tell me everything you can, hee, and they will. And they will, though. Oh, it's a movement, though. No, guys, no, it's not a gossip channel. It's not a club of just snark and sass and allegations. No, it's a movement. Navigating the modern dating scene can be daunting and scary. Hello, Dateline. But with T, you're never alone. And then it's like the dancing sisters emoji. Join a community of almost 5 million women dedicated to empowering each other and get access to a suite of dating safety tools made just for the FBI girlies. Share experiences and seek advice within a secure, anonymous platform. Subtle Among Us music starts playing. Dun 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 dun. Just remember I said that. Darren Cook, bad joke incoming. It's a movement. Wait, why is that? How is that pun relevant? Explain. Because they're cows? Is that the joke? Where does the dairy come in, Darren? Where is this? Is tea, not the milk app. Actually, I'm not sure if I want to know what the milk app would entail at this point. James Gentry, thank you for the 5. Glad to join another stream at work. Hell yeah. Can you make the membership videos available for background play? I don't have that available? That's interesting. I thought background play might only be like a YouTube. He wanted to call it YouTube Red or YouTube Premium or whatever feature. I could be wrong though. I don't know. I'm not part of the YouTube IT team, unfortunately. Someone said they are heifers. Was that the joke? Is that all it comes down to? Pig Purple Panda says men should make an app and call it coffee. Oh my gosh. Let's see what we've got here. Share experiences and seek advice within a secure, anonymous platform. T is built on trust. Screenshots are blocked, and all members are verified as women. Well, I mean, how do you like? Are you cup checking every single last one? So yeah, I guess like the screenshot feature does not exactly work within the app. Good for them, but I mean, many people have pointed out at this point, it doesn't make it impossible to get a photo of what's going on within, most of us have multiple devices of some kind, but I guess it's a slightly added layer of security here. Shiny Luna, so good to see you. Thank you for the 2. His joke is that most users doxed were overweight. Man, I'm sorry. It's not usually the first thing I go for when I make fun of these people. You know what I mean? Like, there are plenty of overweight people who are amazing and, like, don't utilize services like this. But, yeah, it doesn't help that they're giving chubbos a bad rap. All the chonkertons of the world are having to really wear the mantle of these broads, huh? T is more than an app. It's a sisterhood. Sorry, is anybody else getting Other Woman and the Wife vibes? Is anybody else getting like the Affair Club cult vibes from this? I sure am. Together, we're redefining modern dating. Plus, we give back. 10% of profits are donated to the National Domestic Violence Hotline. I mean, that's probably like one good thing that's coming from the shit show, if true. If even true. Join T today and get ready to conquer the dating scene. One cup at a time. Your new besties are waiting. But this is so weirdly insidious though, because like again, it's not a dating app. The men don't want to be on there. It would be one thing if it was a dating app, the men signed up, and by signing up they agreed, like the men take a picture of themselves, they verify that they are who they say they are, and then they're like, yes, you can run background checks on me, yes, you can even leave comments rating me, and they even get the opportunity to like report things that they find to be inappropriate, untrue, things like that. Like, I think that a lot of men would sign up for a new sort of dating app where like they offer to be background checked. that you could call it like green flag dating or something, where everyone puts their best foot forward. But that's not what's happening there. You don't even know if these men want to be dating. Many of these men may be off the market. They may be long dating or even married to someone else. The point is, none of the men posted are consenting or have the ability to consent to anything posted about them, because it's for women only, because they have somehow legally allowed a completely sexist commercialized business in this. Conrad Flatford also brings up another great point with his super chat, saying apparently it's not suitable for non-passing trans. Definitely something that I thought about. Or another thing that I was thinking about was, like, what if you're male but can pass as female? Even if you are or aren't trans, there's some pretty boys out here. Okay? There are truly pretty boys out here in the club. And look at this false advertisement here. They show this an example of what goes on at the T app, allegedly. This is a guy named Jake, and the girls are going, really great guy, total sweetheart, dated my bestie, approved. This is literally like the biggest lie, slander, deception, just fake news as shit I think I may have seen, like, possibly all year long. What a lie. That's like saying that, like, all of the calls that come in on the trucks, that's like, call here, how's my driving? They're just like, he was doing great. He used his turn signals everywhere that he needed to. He was going the speed limit the entire time. He even stopped and helped the turtle cross the road. No, dude, like, people only use this shit when they're complaining, when they want dirt, especially if they get to be anonymous. You think that women are just anonymously out here doing charity work for men, just anonymously wingmanning for men to just help men get laid? You think women would create an app for only other women to help men get laid? Why are you trying to lie so fucking hard? That's so bad faith and disingenuous. Also, Michael McIntyre, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. That is incredibly kind of you. Oh, man. How do I find out if I'm mentioned in the data leak? As far as I understand, there's no, like, Ashley Madison-esque search thing where you can just search the whole database to see who's in there. Not yet, anyway, but we haven't even gotten that far yet. We're still just talking about what the T-app is. Dude, yes, this is giving me so much Other Woman and the Wife vibes. The safest space to spill the tea. Spoiler alert, it was not, in fact, the safest space to spill tea, okay? Because unfortunately, there has been a hack. And I use hack in quotation marks because it appears as though it wasn't exactly like an actual hack. It was kind of like the owners of the T app left a lot of doors open, and people were able to kind of just peek into the open doors and take pictures. Is the most, like, basic way I can explain what happened here, but there's a more complicated way that I can explain how this all went down. Okay. So, what appears to have happened is, as I mentioned earlier, everyone who wants to use this app has to either take a selfie or submit driver's license information to get in, have it verified that you're a real woman. What the T app did was they stored all of these in a legacy database. Okay. Where is my TLDR explanation of this. I'm so sorry. I was intending to like, here, let's see. On July 25th, 2025, T Dating Advice Inc. announced that a publicly exposed legacy database discovered by 4chan, because of course it was 4chan, allowed unauthorized access to roughly 72,000 images, including 13,000 selfies or government-issued ID photos submitted during account verification, and 59,000 user-shared images like posts, comments, and DMs. The exposed data and DM access were traced back to misconfigured storage systems hosted on Firebase. 4chan users posted database access links. In some cases, images were widely downloaded and shared. T shut down affected systems, claimed no email or phone data were affected, and said only users registered before February of 2024 were even impacted. So, it does appear that even though this was not exactly a hack, legally many people are saying that there is still a case for a cybersecurity breach. This doesn't mean that the quote-unquote hackers or anyone behind 4chan can be gone after by the law. It does mean that the T app can be sued by the women who trusted them to remain anonymous. What's insane about this, though, is I agree that the women should be able to sue the T app for promising anonymity and confidentiality and failing them. But I don't understand why the men aren't able to also sue the T app. Is it because like they never promised protection? Like, oh no, like we knew we were going to talk shit about you though. We never said we weren't going to talk shit about you. We didn't offer to protect you. You would think that the people who had the strongest case to argue, I don't like that identifying information about me is on here, would be the ones who never signed up ever. Not the ones who did, and we're just hoping no one would find out that they were posting other people's identifying information. Oh my god, it's super chatted. Thank you so much, by the way. Trash talk him so no one but you gets the man. Exactly. They're acting like this has never been done in all of female history before. That there have never been women who would tell friends of theirs things like, oh no, you shouldn't talk to him, he's not your type. Like, dissuade the relationship from starting out of jealousy, out of possessiveness, out of competition, whatever it may be. There's so many reasons that blindly trusting other women's gossip is not necessarily the dating security hack that you think it is. Colonel Arnold, thank you for the 5, says this feels like a crazy ex's heaven. Another reason to not date, it seems. I don't know, man. I'm still pro dating just because, you know, I wouldn't have my TJ if it was not for dating, but I certainly had to kiss a few frogs myself. That is for sure. Michael McIntyre, thank you for another 5, says if the stream can hit 150 likes in 10 minutes, I'll gift more subs. Oh, snap. Well, there's certainly enough of us here for us to achieve that goal. So, if you would please. Oh, wow, Matthew, thank you for the 10. There's a lot of M names here in the chat. Apparently, there was another breach recently. This apparently included private messages between the women. Apparently, allegedly, nudes of some of the men. Let me look into that one. Or nudes shared and leaked from T-App. Let me see if I can look into that one. Shadow God, so good to see you. Shadow God, our hero of the last week's streams. They'll just argue that they don't have a responsibility to people that aren't their members, which is partially accurate, which is also all the men. Yeah. That's exactly what I was saying that they would do too. Okay. There's definitely stuff about things being doxed and leaked. I'm not seeing anything about nudes yet, but it might just not be in the mainstream media yet. GR, thank you so much for the 2. It says new to the channel. It teeters not on the verge. It teeters not on teetering? I am confused. So, Michael, did we hit 150 already? Or are you just gifting just to gift? Thank you so much, Michael McIntyre. What a legend. So there was a couple of tea related things here because at this point I personally am very invested in the legality of this situation. One thing that this really reminds me of is many of you may remember an app called Lulu. This was very 2014 to 2015, I want to say. And it was essentially the same exact thing. I remember using it out of morbid curiosity to download and see what it was like. And it was also supposed to be woman only, but the verification was a lot less serious. Basically, you had to use social media to link it. So you had to be identified as a female on social media to even create an account. After that, they would basically take every man in your friend group that they could connect, and then they would show you if they could find any tea or red flags on him. And you could leave comments, you could leave hashtags on these guys. I couldn't find a lot of guys that I knew, but I do remember finding one guy that I knew because I remember his hashtag was only eats salads. And I thought that was hilarious. But at the time, I just remember being like morbidly fascinated. Like, God, this is wild. And it didn't last very long. The app was shut down pretty quickly, I would say. But not for any legal purposes, is the thing. They faced a lot of scrutiny, and people certainly thought that the app was controversial, but they were never sued. Nothing like that ever happened. They basically just sold to another person and then they just kind of let it fizzle out. Or I believe maybe turned it into something else. But it was essentially discontinued. So we never got to explore what the legal consequences of the Lulu app could have been. We have seen the legal consequences when this is done from a flipped mail version, kind of. The closest thing I can think of is the website isanyoneUp.com, which now has a Netflix documentary, I believe called The Most Hated Man on Earth, on the internet, something like that. Or maybe it's just The Most Hated Man. But it's about this man, Hunter, who started this website, isanyoneUp.com. And what this website was a revenge porn website. Basically, you could upload any nude photos of anyone you want. And more disgustingly, it was actually archived and filtered through like city and state. So you could just like look up girls who lived around you, and maybe someone posted them, maybe they didn't. Very dark times. That dude literally ended up getting like physically assaulted. He did face a lot of legal consequences, but of course it's never quite the same when there is a gender swap situation. Let me read some of these super. I know I missed a lot of stuff here. After Michael McIntyre donated. Matthew Maddow, so good to see you too. Used Bumble because I wouldn't feel like a predator trying to initiate contact. I'd sign up for what you proposed, so long as I don't see what they say. Oh, interesting. So Matthew agrees, like if there was an app called like Green Flag Guys or something to that effect, where you offer to get background checked for girls, like a lot of guys I think would sign up. I agree. Matthew certainly would, but he would not be interested in seeing what people have to say about him. Interesting. I wouldn't be able to not know. I wouldn't be able to not open that Pandora's box. Oh God, let me get rid of this. Bitcoin recovery person. Block. Anyway. Where, Schneffer? Thank you for gifting memberships. Holy crap. Where, Schneffer? That's a really fun one to say. Damn, you guys are very, very kind. That's so nice of you guys. Again, everybody with your memberships, enjoy your new emotes, enjoy your members only live streams, enjoy your early access. Lots to come. Oh, and join the Discord. Join the Discord. Batman's Pet Goldfish, thank you for the 5. Says men can sue for libel. TOS explicitly says they don't check claims. A platform can be sued for negligence to make an effort to stop libel. Yeah, it's there. That's so weak of them too, because I did read that in T's terms of service they do say like, oh, well, just so you guys know, anything posted here, like, we don't just stand behind. But I don't think that that's enough to fully protect yourself from false allegations being made and spread through your app. I don't think that's purely enough to be like, well, I don't know what goes on in there. You know what I mean? It's like running a casino in your basement and being like, oh, I was just running the restaurant upstairs. I didn't know. Okay, sure, Jan. Michael McIntyre says it took 2 minutes for 50 more likes. Dang, you guys really are on top of it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Holy crap, the super chats. Oh my god, you guys, they won't stop. Slipknot. Oak6 says they'd fall under info broker law. I've never heard of this. Define info broker law. Professional specialized in the research and evaluation of information on behalf of clients or their employees. The intersection of info brokers and privacy law. Yeah, there's so much that I'm so curious about, and I do feel like any cases made here are going to be so similar to what's going on with that affair community lawsuit too. Matthew, thank you for another 5. Yeah, probably not on the main media yet. This happened last night. They were talking about it on Reddit. The torrents were found on /poll and 4chan. Dude, that's wild. If they really were spreading nudes on these people, then I really would hope and anticipate the prosecutors would extend the full extent of the law on that. Because again, the dude who was having people spread around photos of women when they didn't consent to it, he got knifed, dude. Okay, I think it was a pen, but he got stabbed. Okay. Still not a very friendly response. Okay. ZomG says, Shadow got last week. This week, it's Michael. We got the green flag boys are all here. Honestly, we don't really need an app. You just have to come into a Dadvocate chat. You'll find yourself a green flag guy. Wait, Dugan says there's a Chloe in chat. Am I ignoring her on my phone? Is it time to bring Chloe in here? ZomG says, hey, special guest here. Yes, you need Discord, Chloe. Yeah, I might be switching to Chloe Cam here in a second. Michael McIntyre says 225 likes, 5 minutes equals more subs. Let's go. Dude, you guys are spoiling me. What did I do to deserve this? Dang. Roma Army. A banana. Thank you for the banana. Trying to get Discord. All right, everybody, pray to the download speed gods for Roma's Discord. Shadow God says, Chloe, I finished the whatever video. Good to see you. Yeah, once we finish talking tea, I think we should talk about Chloe's appearance on whatever too. Matthew Maddow, thank you for another one. Already read the slam book entries about me in high school. Wow, Jesus Christ, you guys had a for reals burn book, huh? Damn, I guess everybody did in some shape or form. That one guy just donated. Thank you. Thank you, that one guy, for all the memberships. Damn, we're gonna have the biggest community of all time. Oh yeah, another fun thing about the memberships is the longer you keep your membership, the sword and shield icon next to your name grows and evolves into cooler and more mythical weaponry. Just a fun little fact of a little thing I designed for YouTube memberships. Anemic Royalty, thank you for the 2 and the funny user handle. This is why men are checking out of society. It's, I don't know. I appreciate the ones who don't. I appreciate the ones who just Superman it, do good no matter what people think of them. You know what I mean? But I get it. It's tiring. All right. I think I'm all caught up. We're still waiting for Roma to get Discord, but as soon as she does, I'm going to go ahead and just loop her into the tea talk so we can get Chloe Roma's opinion here on all of this. Zankaran, thank you so much for the 5. I heard there was a male version of the app. It was taken down after only 15 minutes. Yeah, I just know it would not last very long. I definitely know that much. So I found this article that covers the legality of all of this. Oh, hold on, let me read Golem's super chat. And I'm like inundated with super chats. I can't even get to it. Golems and Goblin says, I would like a service like T, but where guys submit their own saying site profiles and could get like a badge that says certified not a creeper. Yeah, it's sounding more and more like the idea of a green flag dating where like the men offer to get background checked and even offer to get, you know, third party reviews from former dates or loved ones. I think a lot of guys would sign up for that, but we're really missing the mark when we enter this territory of, you know, hey, you guys actually post other people who don't know that they're in here and we all talk about them, which is what appears to have been going on in the affair community that has a whole other lawsuit that I've been covering is, you know, there's this argument between the owners of the affair community and the betrayed spouses who were posted about in the community because, you know, the betrayed spouse is out here telling people, dude, they're out here posting about me and my kids and my husband. They're posting photos. They're posting identifying information. This has fucked me up. And then the affair community lady is like, you weren't supposed to tell people when you paid money to join. When you paid money, you agreed you weren't going to tell what goes on in the affair community, even if it deeply offended you and included you and involved things that you didn't intend to share with anybody else. Like, I'm going to sue you for sharing that. It's like, how far is this going to go? You know what I mean? Like, do these women have the right to be upset? Would it be a successful lawsuit against the T app? Would it be... It seems legally as though the women have a stronger case for suing T than the men do, unfortunately. Phil says, boss, you're killing me just ignoring me and Roma. I'm looking at my text right now. Roma is not texting me. Is she in the chat, not on my text? And then Chris says, Chloe, don't you have a Discord as a Patreon perk? I'm her friend. She shouldn't need to be a member of my Discord to start a call with me in the DMs. I got you added here, Chloe Roma, from our last Discord. Y'all with my tech issues. Yeah, she's in the chat. She says still trying. Me when my mom forgets her Apple ID password. Shadow God says, if we hit 500 likes, maybe I will do another 50. I will cry. I will cry, you guys. That's so nice of you. What's the email? She's asking. I don't know. Let's see here. Can I see her email? I don't know. Chloe, I don't know this email. This is so silly. My email is lauren@dadvocate.net, Chloe. Add me on there. Or text me your email. She's making a whole new Discord just to join this. I will say this, though. That's some dedication, you know? And I also don't blame Chloe for not being familiar with Discord. I'm still so new to it. I'm still such a Discord noobs. My mods are like, yeah, we know. We know. mean, my stepson teaches me everything I need to know about staying alive on the internet. All right. Well, Chloe tries to get in on here, and I kind of eyeball my friend requests here so I don't miss her. Let's get into some of the legal answers to this here. All right. Tea is marketed as a dating safety tool for women. Many men online saw the point of how the app might protect women, but a number of people expressed worry about the fairness and legality of it all, ranging from the philosophical to the personal. The risk of abuse is insanely, insanely high, said one Redditor in a discussion. It seems pretty socially deleterious if any human can have a social media profile they can't view created for them without their consent or knowledge. Yeah, so it definitely sounds exactly like the Lulu app. Shadow God says, I need something for it though, like more streams. I know I was trying to look into this week of when I could potentially do a third stream because I was like, I gotta do that members only one. I'll try to find some time this weekend. We're gonna get that members only stream. It's coming. It's coming up ASAP. Okay? I just gotta find a time that we're free. We're going to a baseball game Saturday though. Maybe Saturday morning. Maybe. We'll see. Wait, what's Roma saying? Where's she at? Someone just responded to her. She said, I got it! She's got it! Yay! Okay. Maybe Roma will be joining us. You're not supposed to cross streams. Oh, American Jordan Peterson is back! The Powerpuff Girls can easily defeat Mojo Jojo, but not a basic video chat. I know, there's difficulties every single time. Alright, she said got it. But let's see. Where's she at? She's typing. She's typing, people. I think I added you. Friends. Pending. Okay, now I've got one from Roma Army. There we go. Start video call. Let's see here. Hey, yo. Wait, why can't I hear anything? Is this a me problem? Where is the audio? What is this? Voice filters. Can you hear me? Why can't I hear Chloe? What's going on here? What in the heckin' hey? Can you guys hear Chloe? No, she's muted. They can't hear you either. I feel like we had this problem last time. I feel like I just heard something. She just quiet as fuck? Oh, I think she's gonna go get headphones. That could be it. Well, and then what is this? Why is there multiple Roma armies? Sorry, guys. I'm like, what? What in the hey? Oh, there we go. That looks a lot better. That's nicer. Yes! Okay. Yes. Okay, now let's... That's so funny. Okay, let's see here. Is this a good way of viewing it? Is there a different way I can show this off where we can still see everybody? I feel like nobody can really see this document very well. But whatever, okay. Now you guys at least can kind of still see us. Look, it's not ideal, but I have look, I have Chloe! Oh, man. Here, let me quit sharing the screen for a second. I'll just read this at this point. Oh, man. Okay, so have you heard of this T app thing?
Yeah.
Everything going on? Oh, man. Yeah, I was just reading the legalities of it all. Let me...
Yeah, I hope people sue.
Oh, you know what I do want to look at with you though? Hold on. Angle that a little bit. Maybe angle. Sorry, I feel like it's so awkwardly placed. There we go. That's good enough. Hold on. Yeah, we got to react to this one together, actually. I do have to share my screen for something. We got to react to this, which is what has been released. This is the big image going around right now. I was able to find it here. The men who were posted on the T app versus the women that posted them. Now, I've seen a lot of people who are like making judgments about these people. I mean, these are only. What was that? Sorry. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to see, it just like looks like one of those quilts from this far away. And there's only so much you can tell about looking at someone, but these people, I mean, everybody looks like they're probably in each other's leagues. Is that crazy to say? These all just, they all just kind of look like average people. It is wild though that people have already done the dirty work of not only identifying, like getting in there and identifying all of these people, but also matching them to what they posted and then sharing that with everybody else. I mean, detective work. So what do you think? Do you think that the women should be able to sue the T app? Like, do you think that they have a fair case? Like, they were promised anonymity, and so regardless of like what they were posting, do you think that they deserve their anonymity? No, I think if they want to sue anybody, sue whoever hacked it. Like, they can't control if they got hacked or not. But it wasn't a hack. Yeah, it was. Was it not? So here's the way that it was explained to me is basically the all of these photos were kept in like a legacy database. So think of that as like a warehouse. But there was no security on that warehouse. They basically just like had all of their stuff, like all these files in there, and the doors were just open. So it like, you got to know where to look to find this warehouse with the door open. You have to know the right URLs to type in and enter them. But once you do and you find where the warehouse is, you walk in, and basically what these people did is just walk past the warehouse, saw the stuff inside, and then took pictures of what they could see. They didn't break in anything, they didn't damage anything, they didn't pretend to be anybody. It was just really poor security from the end of this, and it's kind of like this reminds me, I've been saying that this is just like the other woman affair community lawsuit that's also going on. Is Yeah. They're all fighting because it's like one person is like, they're talking mad shit about us and posting our kids in there, and then the other lady's like, don't tell people what we're doing in there, it's illegal. You know what I mean? Like, is it though? Like, is taking screenshots inside of there and posting them like actually illegal? I don't know. So I don't think that you should be allowed to do shit like that, because when does an ex ever have something positive to say about another? I know. So like, they're all, I don't know. I just think like, not all of them, obviously, but so many women are just notorious for their exes. That's exactly what I was saying. I was like, it's like, how often do you see those trucks that's like, call this number to tell me how I'm driving, and people are like, oh yeah, they were amazing, they use their turn signal regularly. And point, literally. Yeah, like, who is gonna say something to, like, I don't know. I just think they shouldn't have done it. And I find it so funny that they're so upset about having their privacy breached, yet they had no problem exposing the privacy of their exes. I don't understand why the women's commentary is even necessary. Like, why, what it has to gain. Because if these men are truly verified predators, the background check, the sex offender list check, that should tell you all you need to know. I don't understand why we need all this extra unverified allegations just thrown into the mix. You know? Because it's like at that point, why can't men have the same thing? They're just because men are more physically violent, according to most studies, doesn't mean that there is zero harm that dating a woman can do to you.
Wait, do you mean domestically? Because they're not more violent, like domestically, or do you just mean violent in general?
That's so funny. Chloe and Dadvocate begin the debate. That is actually one thing that you and I have always disagreed on, because I've seen you say, like, men are not more violent, men are not. And I disagree. I do think that according to most data, they're more violent. It's just they got that dog more in them, you know?
Well, yeah, be violent in general, but with domestic violence, they're like equal perpetrators. With women actually slightly admitting, it's about admission. So if you look at the studies on like the CDC, and it's what's it called? It's called self-reported. So self-reported,
Yeah.
like violence against the other gender, women slightly report more that they're like the violent ones. So this is in situations of like domestic violence, arrests, courts, family courts. I can send it to you.
You know what's so funny though? You know what they're gonna say to you is they're gonna say that's just because men lie. Sorry, women are more honest after beating the
That's not
shit out
true.
of men. Sorry, they're more honest.
Something I would have heard on the whatever podcast if I brought that up.
Oh my gosh, we'll go back on there together and bring it up and get into a whole flurry of mess. Hold on. Shadow God says people are having a hard time hearing Roma. Do you need me to make her louder? Is that the problem? I can make you louder, Roma. Hold on, say something. Do like an audio check, I guess. And boo, boo, a quiet boo. But yeah, I think I made you a little bit better. And then Michael McIntyre also says that if we get 325 likes by 11:30 Pacific time, we're gonna get more subs. So
Ooh, get to liking people.
that's amazing. Yeah, I don't know, like I think that there's still plenty that men could warn each other about when it comes to women. I mean, coming to mind right now, I think of Elizabeth Teckenbrock, which are you at all familiar with the Cupcake Mom?
Yeah, the
Oh
one who
man.
was crying making cakes, but she didn't even have custody of her kids.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a
And she got
whole
like
rabbit
8
hole.
million views and so much sympathy, and then the dad was like, wait, she doesn't even have the kids.
Dude, if there was any men who needed a similar app, and it's all of Florida, because that woman has just like blitzkrieged through that state like a freaking wrecking ball, scamming men, lying to men. All of the allegations against her are insane. There's this podcast right now done by Sherilyn Dale and Cece Suarez. I love them. Two amazing creators called Elizabeth, who are still covering Elizabeth because despite the fact that she has allegedly, I gotta say that for legal purposes, allegedly lied about her children having cancer, lied about herself having cancer, lied about working as a principal, extorted and conned men out of like up to at least $1 million, defrauded so many of her friends. So many people have spoken out against her. It's still ongoing. She's still to this day performing scams. Like if anybody needed it, it's it's that's the thing is men wouldn't even need to be anonymous. Men would proudly come out and warn people about women is the thing.
Yeah, men just don't do that. I wonder why. They don't have that, like, petty streak where they're like, I need to warn everybody. They just don't do that. I find it very interesting.
Yeah, I think that's very similar probably to most women, which is like if you really, really need to warn someone about someone and you have the opportunity to like one on one, you will. But
I mean, I've had tons of friends that date somebody and go on Facebook, and it's like, this person did this, and this to me. Like, it's so common. Actually, it's so common if I think about it. Even just growing up, like, think about it on Facebook. How many times you've seen a friend break up with, like, somebody else and then post and be like, it's so much better with that. Have you had that experience, or are we just a little quacky up here in Canada?
I don't mind it. So, yeah, it's definitely, I see it more of like a passive aggressive thing, like that post divorce glow up or something like that, where it's not so much like direct shit talking, but like when I do see, it's luckily I feel like I've kept a lot better company to where I haven't seen like the direct shit talking from my own direct sphere in a really long time. But even if it's not people I know, I see a lot of exposed posts. Like I see a lot of like public posts with like paragraphs and paragraphs of like look out for this person. Now to be fair,
Yeah.
like a lot of the times they're absolutely crazy and it's like actual legal cases like look out for this guy, he like eats cats, and you're like oh
Oh my god.
yeah, there's his arrest record for eating cats. Okay, thank you for letting me know. But again, it's like my thing is unless there's an actual background check behind it, like an actual case, like I don't think it's responsible to just believe that stuff all willy-nilly.
No, it's not. Fucking ridiculous.
I covered the Are We Dating the Same Guy groups, and I was going through some notable ones that I could find, and there were so many women who admitted that they lied in there. Like they were just trying to drag their
I
ex.
found there's one of those in my city, but the neighboring city. And my cousin and I, like 4 years ago, 3 years ago, were looking through it, and we actually found my mom's ex-husband.
Oh my
So I was
god.
like, oh my god, so that's what we found out. He's cheating. He cheated on my mom twice after giving birth to both my siblings. And then she divorced him, and now he's with this other woman, and he's cheating on that woman because we found on these pages, and oh my god, and I was on Bumble years ago when I was still single, and I saw him on there. So
Dang, what is
yeah,
your age range set to?
I don't think I had one. I don't think I set an age range
I
on
was
it.
like, why are these 60-year-olds showing up on
No,
here?
he was like in his 40s still, because my mom adopted me super young. She adopted me at 28, and I was already 14. So he was like relatively young. He's not in his 60s, still his 40s.
Hold
But yeah,
on.
that's a good question. Why was it so high? Why was my age range so high?
Hold on. People are still saying that the audio is bad. Hold on. Roma is underwater, they're saying. Let me see what I can do about this.
I can try to find some headphones and jump back in. I just have to pass my son off to his dad.
Okay.
So, but I'll stay in the chat and I'll listen. Just give me like 20 minutes.
Did I fix it at all, guys? Is this helpful or is it terrible?
Is it better?
I don't know. I tried to change something around a little bit. There she is. Okay, did I make it better, guys? Okay, everyone's saying that's better. Okay.
Okay.
Beautiful. Yeah, I will say, like, sometimes those Are We Dating the Same Guy groups, like, I have to imagine, similar with the T app, there's, of course, going to be situations where the intent of actually, like, protecting a woman does go through, right? Because I think we all know, like, we all know actually dangerous men, of course. We all know men who are actually dangerous and actually very capable of masquerading as nice guys and presenting as, like, perfectly likable people throughout society when the reality is, like, they don't belong anywhere near single mothers or vulnerable women at all, and we would like to warn them all, like, of course there's probably going to be times where it's helpful,
Right.
but it's just way too unregulated of a whole platform. Nothing's verified. No one can verify any of the claims.
Yeah, anybody can just say anything. Well, the guys lie too. Like, I've broken up with people and like they'll go around and be like, yeah, she's a whore. I slept with her. And I'm like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Yeah.
But then I just lie right back. Anytime anybody, if there's any women in the chat, take this as a tip. If anybody ever lies about sleeping with you, instead of like feeling embarrassed, trying to be like, no, you didn't, just be like, oh yeah, I remember. You cried after and asked me to call you mommy. I've done that every time. Or you asked to call me mommy.
Oh
You
yeah,
just make up
yeah. No, yeah, I slept with that guy. He had this pump that he insisted he had to use.
Cried the whole time. I don't. Then it's on them to be like, that never happened.
What do you think? This is like so random and off topic, but what do you think is worse? When someone lies about sleeping with you, but you obviously say that you didn't sleep with them and they have to be like embarrassed that you were like, I didn't sleep with them, or when you did sleep with someone and they're still like, I never slept with that person.
I've never had anybody deny sleeping with me, but I've definitely had people claim they slept with me.
What do you think
would be more embarrassing if you slept with the person and they denied that you slept with them. To be like, what the fuck? Was I that bad?
Like they don't want to tell people that they slept with you. Like, what?
What the fuck? I'd be so offended.
I know, I'm trying to think of what I would be more offended by if like someone I didn't sleep with was trying to lie and say they hid it, or if someone that I did sleep with was like, I never touched her, I never would.
That's insane. Yeah, I'd be so mad. I'd be
both happen all the time. Oh man, yeah, I also wanted to share this though. I have another thing I'd love to share with you here in screen share land. Here we go. So this was, someone shared this. An exchange I recently had with one of my male friends who asked me to give him details about the T app. Hashtag how to be a girl's girl. It says, can you check if I'm on that T app? I mean, I've only dated like 5 women ever in my life, but just to make sure. She said, what's the T app? He said, check TikTok. She goes, oh no, sir, I'm a girl's girl. And if women decided to create an app to expose men with red flags, then I sincerely hope you have conducted yourself like the man of God you were raised to be. But I shall not be a spy.
Shut the fuck up. Oh my God.
Oh, you don't like it?
Ugh. I just hate this whole girls shit. It's like what I said on the whatever podcast. Everybody's a fucking girl's girl till they're not. Like, I'm so sick of it. Like, actual girls don't walk around being like, I'm a girl's girl. We're just girls. It's like what they say about like dudes that have to constantly walk around and be like, I'm a nice person. It's like, well, if you have to constantly tell people how nice you are, you might not be that nice. Like, what the fuck?
Oh,
thanks for all the support in your community and you on the whatever podcast. It was really nice seeing you guys. It like calmed my nerves in the beginning.
Aw, yeah, thank you, chat, and everybody who hyped up Roma, because there were some a-holes in that chat at first.
His community hates me. It's like 50-50. Some of them like me, some of them don't, but they kept calling me a feminist.
The tide
so I'm
did
like,
turn.
If you guys think that I'm a feminist, that must mean that I'm really just being a basic, like, human being and just giving women, like, basic decency for them to look at that and be like, you're a feminist. Because what the fuck? Nobody's ever accused me of being a fucking feminist except for the island boy, that one island boy, Fly Soldier. It's like, you're just a fucking feminist. Because I on live stream and I was like, isn't this you beating your girlfriend? Like, remember? And he's like, you're just a fucking feminist. I'm like, what the fuck? That's the last time I've called a feminist.
There are definitely like worse insults too than being called a feminist.
Fuck.
Like the fact that he was like in a triggered state and that was the first thing that like came out of his mouth. Like,
stupid feminist.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever was a good experience, though. I'm back September 14th.
You're already going back September 14th?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Shit.
It's 50-50, the response from the audience. Like, half of them are like, you should have her as a regular. and the other half are like, fuck her. But Brian and I have been friends for like 2-3 years, like just behind closed doors. So he's not gonna look at his community and be like, oh, they hate her, so I hate her too. I'm like, just co-parter, bitches.
Yeah, he's really good at like kind of being objective too. So like, and everybody who knows Brian comes to expect it. So like, if you start getting roasted or dragged during his show, like he's not going to play favorites. Like he's let his best friends get roasted and dragged on his show. Like you have to be able to expect it. But I definitely pointed that out when we were watching your appearance on the Whatever Pod. I was like, oh, Chloe's right next to Brian. Get the big seat in the house.
Everybody was so shocked when I like disagreed with him, because I disagreed with him a few times, and I guess, I don't know, like the people that he has come on, I guess don't do that a lot. I don't know, judging by people's reaction to it. But that's why it shocked me even more when that girl was like, you only take women's side. Would you talk to a man like this? And I'm like, bro, I was roasting Brian too. What do you mean?
Yeah, you really were. You kept calling Brian out. That was so funny. Actually, hold on. Shiny Luna just super chatted and it reminds me. I had some questions for you. Because Shiny Luna says, saw the whole thing. You and Boat Girl were cool. You and Boat Girl. No, I had some questions about Boat Girl because I had some criticisms for her, and I wanted to know if you got like some more tea on her situation, because what she was talking about, like, I don't understand why she's even still getting alimony.
I do, yes.
I like, she's capable of working.
If you're good,
is your
community good at like, are you guys good at not, like, if I ask you to like respect something and not go spread it around, like, will they do it? Are they pretty good?
I mean, this is a public live stream, so it's
people watching.
I mean, I don't know if like, if you're asking if they like clip farm the shit out of things, then I don't think we have an anti Boat Girl club here. I think everybody's pretty pro Boat Girl, despite my criticisms of being like, I don't understand why she's receiving alimony still.
Okay, so okay, yeah, I guess nobody knows her last name. I just don't want her to get in any trouble. So the actuality of it, she told us after, is that her and her ex-husband are actually legally still married because he's in the military. And if they were to get divorced right now, he would have to pay her out like so much money. And she doesn't want to do that to him. So instead, she takes small payments from him rather than flat out divorcing him and having it legally, so that they like drain his pocket. Because it's like some military, like he would have to give her like so much money. So that's actually why she didn't want to fuck him over. But she couldn't say that because she's like, somebody could like report him and make that process happen anyways.
It's like kind of like military fraud a little bit.
Yeah. So they just didn't want to be together, but she didn't want to fuck him over and have to go through all this court and have him pay all this money that he doesn't have. So instead they settled on these like payments until she gets on her feet. I knew there was something more to it. That's why I didn't press her too hard, because I could see her like beside me. She was like shaking. She was so freaking nervous. And like right away I connected with her, even like outside when we had all met. And she's just the sweetest person. I could just tell from her energy, like right away. So I didn't go hard on her. I knew there was something else to it, but yeah, she didn't want to like fuck him over more.
Yeah. So nobody narc on Boat Girl, okay?
Yeah, please don't. Because she's
you're gonna screw over Boat Boy.
Yeah, don't screw over Boat Boy. Yeah, her name's Kate. She was really good.
You're gonna sink the ship. Okay, watch them loose lips, y'all. Okay. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's another question I had for you though, because like I knew you were buddy with Boat Girl, but what I want to know is you took a picture with Vampire Girl.
Oh, I love her.
Before the show, but then you guys ended up later kind of beefing.
No, we didn't.
Oh, I guess maybe I misinterpreted the situation. Because I know that you were going kind of back and forth with a few of the sex working girlies.
Yeah, but not her. No, she's so fantastic. She came up to me at the beginning. Sorry, I'm just grabbing a charger, guys. She came up to me at the beginning of the show, And she was like, oh my God, she's like, I love you. She's like, I totally understand if you have to roast me. She's like, but just know I love you. And I just really
Wow.
connected with her. And she's just great. I mean, she's, it's like I said to her and said on the podcast, she's still a hoe, but she's a real hoe and she's a nice hoe and she conducts herself like a lady. She didn't walk in there deep throating the mics and just acting like a freaking slag, as the British people would say. Like, those other girls were just so rude. And like, even
She's
when
a
because
polite
we all
vamp.
meet outside, and so when we met outside and I walked up, they're like, this is just a shitty podcast. You don't have to be scared of Brian. Brian's just I can't remember the term they used, but it was like, you know how they say like champion for incels? It
Oh
was like
yeah.
something along those lines. And then, yeah, that, and in between talking about what plastic surgery they want next and shaking their ass in the middle of the street. And I'm like, you have no decorum. And then we sit down before we start filming, and they're sitting there talking about the dicks they sucked last night and freaking deep throating the microphones. And I'm like, you are just so trashy. And me and Gemma, the vampire girl, we're just looking at each other like, what? Like, Gemma at least composed herself as like a lady, and she was real about who she was. That's why I connected with her, and that's why I liked her. I love Gemma. I'll defend Gemma any freaking day of the week. I don't have anything against like hoes. I have something against like hoes. You know what I'm saying? Like, she does hoe activities, but she's not like a hoe. She didn't walk in there deep throating the mic and talking about how much dick she sucked last night. Like, oh,
But she really
those girls.
she really lets her dude hit other girls, like crack them.
She does it. Yeah. Yeah. That's their agreement. Yeah.
He gets to just
I mean,
go clap other people's cheeks, huh?
it's not for me. It wouldn't be in my relationship, but that's the agreement that they've put together. So I'm just like, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to judge her. I don't judge everybody. And I think you know this. Like, when we were in New York together, I talked about it. Like, I don't judge every OnlyFans girl or every, S worker or not safe for worker. I don't. It's a base by base basis. It's how you act, how you feel about it, how you present it to the world. And so, yeah, I really connected with Gemma. Those other girls have just, oh my God, they're coping so hard. They've like blocked me. They're all over their social medias saying that I went to the bathroom to cry. I'm like, you really think you're going to make me cry? Are you nuts? I had to pee. I was sitting there for 5 hours. It was an 8-hour podcast.
That was an insanely long show, dude. That
Yeah.
Hold on, there
I thought
was
I was going to be there for 2-3 hours. 8 hours was wild. It was
Lulu said Vampire Girl had surprisingly based takes.
Yeah. Yeah, she's a good woman, man. Not everybody who like sells themselves as like a bad person. Even when I did not safe for work, it didn't take away from the fact that I genuinely cared about what I was doing. It just opened me up for judgment. So yeah, I think she really does care, and she's actually very intelligent and actually respects like men. She's not out there outing her clients as gay. What the fuck?
Do you think that she can ever like unsplit her tongue?
Yeah, it heals. It goes back. Yeah, I hung out with her for a bit. Me and my cousin.
Splitting is temporary?
Yeah, it can heal. It goes back. Yeah, she said she had to get it split twice. Oh, thinking about it is like, oh.
Like your tongue slowly grows back?
Yeah, like this, if you don't continue to stretch it or something, it'll, yeah.
Huh.
I have no idea.
Wow, you learned so much on the whatever, Pa.
Hold on, I'm gonna have to join you back. I've just got to pass my son off.
Oh, that's okay. We'll see you later.
All right, bye.
Bye. Oh man. Okay, so we had some Chloe time. That was pretty fun. We got to go over some various tea exchanges here. When it comes down to this, talk about a little bit of that there. Roma just taught me something new. Yeah, so it sounds like you guys are kind of talking about whether or not this whole tea thing was a hack, or if accessing the database is a hack. It sounds like it is not a hack. It sounds like whoever accessed this database and was able to leak everything did not commit a crime, and that the onus is on the T app for not properly protecting people as they said that and claimed that they would be. But this is just one of those situations of like the Ouroboros eating its own tail in a way. It just sucks that so many other people are going to be collateral damage in other people's stupidity, right? Like, just like Kristen Jacobs has become the collateral damage of this affair community deciding that they want to have this secret gossip chamber, you know, all these men are going to be the collateral damage of all of these women's little gossip chamber that they dress up and use, you know, extensive gaslighting rhetoric to convince people is anything but a Mean Girls Gossip Club burn book situation. Again, I'm sure that maybe like 10% of the time you are preventing someone from dating someone who is absolutely heinous and dangerous and terrible. But if people are just good at doing background checks, they'll get that information on their own. What's also highly probable is you preventing genuine, real connections through fraudulent spreading of misinformation, which also happens all the time. There's not much anti-troll protection in these hodgepodge groups here. Shadow God, thank you for another dono. Says, hey, we need over 150 more likes. If you're watching on another platform, get on YouTube and hit the like button. There's also a bunch of YouTube that needs to hit the like button. Help Lauren out. Thank you so much. Damien says creating a group to talk about women or men is fucking weird. Here's something that I want to know. How much is T-App? Does not have publicly available valuation at this time. I'm hoping that it just goes down on its own. You know what I mean? I'm hoping that, like, we don't even have to take dramatic legal action. I'm hoping this is more of, like, just a failure of laissez-faire, that just people stop engaging in this. Have any leaked tea women responded? And now we're asking the real questions. Roma's doing a quick custodial exchange, and then she'll be back. Let's see. Here's at least what ChatGPT has to say about the situation. Women impacted by the recent T-App data breach have responded in a variety of ways, calling for stricter regulations and accountability. Some have voiced their concern about the privacy violations and the potential for abuse of the leaked information. This includes a female columnist for the Times of London who criticized the app as a man-shaming site and raised questions about the security of user data. Oh, but there's so much potential to abuse this information. Yeah, is there? Tell me more about how you know that to be true. Oh, American Jordan Peterson, thank you for gifting memberships. At this point, I feel like everyone in here is going to be a YouTube member by the end. Many are seeking legal advice. Given the potential for harm from the breach, individuals are likely exploring legal options against those who shared their information without consent. I mean, good luck. How are you going to find out who these 4chan hackers are? 4chan is definitely going to be way better about protecting user data than this, like, a random gossip channel offshoot app, dude. Many have expressed distress and concern. Users whose personal data and images have been exposed are undoubtedly experiencing significant emotional distress, worry about their online safety, and concern about potential harm to their reputation or well-being. I want to see if I can find any screenshots of what the T app looks like. Because I've seen some of the photos. I haven't seen too many of these, like, conversations that people are saying were spread around. Let's see. What have we got here? I'm trying to see if I can find anything. Didn't 4chan data get leaked too? It did. I'm just saying it's not as easy. Not as easy. Michael McIntyre says green. Green everywhere. Did I open something weirdly green? But I think that's about it on the T app as it stands right now. Is just like other controversial apps in the past, the Ashley Madison breach, the other woman and the wife expose. When you create platforms that are literally designed for people to have like a secret room to commit insidious acts, to act completely duplicitously and shamefully towards someone else behind closed doors, the internet is probably going to attack you. I don't know what to tell you. Like, this isn't a threat because I'm not personally involved in these breaches. I don't know how to hack people, but other people do. And other people, I imagine, who do know how to hack feel just as strongly about the moral bankruptcy of some of these platforms as I do. Okay, so me quietly showing some support and saying, look, I don't fully mind that the people, the users who engage with this delinquent, just degenerate content are being outed. I don't think there's anything wrong with me saying that. Certainly it's dangerous to do. You know, you're walking the fine line of legality when you do these things. But when it's done, oh no, like, oh no, cheaters were exposed. Oh no, people who exist in a space where they just want to anonymously gossip about people, consequence free, are seeing consequences. Oh no. Yeah. Let's see here. Where's Chaos Shadow? That's a good question. I think there's definitely a possibility of a class action lawsuit here as well. And if the T-App gets sued, I love it. Like I said, it's the Ouroboros eating its own tail. I love to see it. You know what I mean? It's Darwinism at full play. I just hate that all these men who have no say are kind of getting pulled into the middle of it. But for the rest of them, it's kind of a fuck around, find out situation. You know, the developers of this T app thought that they had pulled off this like perfect groundbreaking tool. Now they're forked. They very well could lose everything if there is a class action lawsuit. And all these women who wanted to just anonymously yap shit with no consequences whatsoever are now literally on a list. So a lot of people are saying justice is served, that these women have been baked and served quite a hot and steaming humble pie. Other people are livid. They're basically saying, you know, if you're against this app, you hate women, you hate women's safety. There was nothing to worry about. No one was ever going to ever use that app for anything bad or nefarious. That's never been done before. Where do you guys stand on the issue? Do you think that it is a good thing that it's people are starting to see, oh, maybe there's not a safe place to anonymously chat shit about whoever I want, and maybe I should change my behavior? Do you think that it's actually a pretty bad and devastating thing? These women don't deserve all that? Or do you think it's like, actually kind of nuanced and somewhere in between? They shouldn't have talked shit about these men, but they also don't deserve to be exposed. What are your thoughts on the rise and fall of the T app, going from one of the number one apps downloaded in the App Store to now just the Titanic of burn book situations? And what do you think might be the future of the T app? Do you think that finally there will be some kind of legislation put into place against apps where you can create private communities where you can upload and talk shit pictures about people who are not part of that community? Or do you think people should have the right to private communities where they just talk shit about whoever they want? Let me know in the comments, let me know in the chat, guys. And then we'll move on to a little something different. T is a terrorist app. A hot take, but I'll allow it. Don't care about the app or its use. Yeah, I agree. I'm pro background checks, anti T. Yeah, we've got about half an hour left for us to react to some things. I've got a fun one. Do you guys want some nice girls for our last little half hour here? Do you guys want to react to some nice girls here? I love a good nice girl. And now for something completely different. Yes, Jordan. I do fear that yapping about the T app and everything for an hour and a half might be enough. That might be adequate, though. Love nice girls posts. This one says, caught a mega nice girl. She says, hello, if you want, we can hang out tomorrow. He says, hey, sounds good. She goes, hey, LOL. Hey is for horses. I'm a human, not a fucking horse. He laughs because he thinks that she's like being silly, as I think we all would. She says, is that a joke to you that I want to be treated like an actual fucking person and not some farm thing? Dude, I'm so happy that I'm going somewhere with a lot of horses next week, because I'm going to look at them and be like, look at the farm thing. I usually say, look at that dog, but look at the farm thing is going to be my new thing next week. Shadow God, so good to see you! I'm tired of the if you disagree, then you hate that people or you're a villain. Screw off with that. It's such a bull and is so intellectually dishonest. Yep, it's definitely a very annoying fallacy. Shelda the Pretty says, damn, Hassan Piker likes the T app and V Shoujo. I don't know what V Shoujo is. I'm not fully surprised that Hassan likes the T app. He's, I feel like, leaning just more and more into troll territory every day. And then Shadowgat also says, we need 127 more likes. Get it done, people. Come on. Yes, let's go. Farm thing. He eats like a little horsey. He goes, my bad. I thought you were making a joke. That being said, I don't know why you would be so offended over me saying hey. Yeah, this is definitely the fastest crash out I think I may have ever seen in Nice Girl history, quite frankly. The wall of text hit immediately. Well, I don't know if you remember, but back in the old days, women were treated with respect and courtship. Men would bow down and kiss their hands, but now modern day males can barely shred an iota of respect to another woman. I reacted so offendedly because this isn't about the word hey. It just shows that you cannot respect another person or treat another woman like a princess. Instead of being a boy that just wants to get in my pants, maybe you should work on manners and respect. This isn't going to work. I'm sorry. Have some respect and then we will talk. I love that, like, she just shut it down so hard. Like, she just exited out of the entire dialogue tree really, really aggro. But then, like, she's still leaving a door open. She's like, yeah, I'm gonna completely freak out over you literally saying hey, because you're not supposed to say hey. You were supposed to arrive in a horse-drawn carriage wearing a full suit and then kiss my hand with a full bouquet of only the finest red roses. Or some shit. But then she's like, but I mean, if you want to apologize profusely to me, I suppose I can find it in my heart to forgive you. Like, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Shiny Luna says V Shoujo is a VTuber corp that stole a minimum of 500k. Damn, I guess I'm out of the loop on the VTuber drama. Oh shit. Oh, I also missed one from Alban, thank you for your $5 super chat. Says, thanks for talking about this so-called modern feminism is shooting itself in the foot by tearing down the opposite sex when it should be about equality. Could not agree more, brother. I say this all the time. That's exactly what I meant when I said it's the Ouroboros eating its own tail. They're literally ruining themselves by instilling more and more of this gender war every day. Matthew, thank you for the 20. So generous. Oh my god. Says, quote, if you didn't do anything wrong, you should have nothing to worry about. BS narrative. Yep, these women aren't just exposing shitty men. They're slandering men who have done nothing wrong and doxing them as well. Okay, me done. Yeah, and I'm so sick of people being like, oh, well, you know, you gotta break a few eggs to make an omelet. No, you freaking don't. Again, with background checks and looking at the sex offender list yourself, you could already make the omelet. You don't have to break a few eggs by doing a few tricks in the air prior, you know? You don't have to, though. JDIV says, hi, Lauren. Hope you're having a great day. No, you! These shoujo really got themselves cooked. It's leaking into everything. I know, I don't even know what's going on, and it's made its way to this channel. God, I gotta see how he responds, though, because I can see there's still more. Let me shrink this down a tiny bit. Okay. So I'm just trying to be perfecto here. He says, yeah, I don't know if this is going to work out, but thank you for your time. Still respectful in the face of lunacy. Gotta give it to this man. She says, you're probably going to tell your little friends about how shitty of a person I am, but the reason there's a male dating crisis is because of people like you being unable to put some basic info in your noodle. You may think you won this, but a few years from now, you will look back and cringe and wonder why no one wants to date you. And then in an actual true king mic drop moment, bro goes, okay, my bad. I just know that made her crash out, dude. Because these, like, insane, neurotic, crash out narc types, the worst thing you can possibly do is have, like, no reaction. Or, like, not take them seriously. Or, like, laugh in their face. Dude, they get so livid. He was supposed to be shaking in his boots. He was supposed to be as intimidated as a man could ever possibly be. So she's just gonna blow him up with clown emoji. She has to have the last word, I guess. Oh, Metreon, what do you have to say? The T-app proves the red pill correct. They are dealing with the same dudes. It's certainly not helping the red pill narrative. That's a really great point, Metreon. The one that I really should have covered earlier. But it's absolutely true. I know that I said that the Ouroboros is eating its own tail, but you're really driving that point home, you know, by all of these women coming on here and all of them only talking the same shit about the same dudes. They hate when guys bring up that whole, like, oh, 99% of women only date 1% of men statistic, which there's no way it's accurate. It's definitely a hyperbolic thing to say. But I also don't think that there's a complete lack of truth to that. I do think that the most attractive of any group get more of their pickings, you know, be it men or women. But it's like, gosh, feminism, if you're trying to abolish that narrative, you should probably stop doing things that feed into it, huh? You're making us look bad. Making the women look bad. Dissident, so good to see you. Thank you for the 5. Says match her aggressivism with the etymology of hay through Norse hay versus hay coming from Hodja? I don't even know what that means. No, he chose the opposite of violence though. He chose not to match her aggressiveness. He chose to remain chill and stoic in the face of absolute crash out, and I admire that, quite frankly. If he would have matched her aggressiveness, it wouldn't be funny anymore, you know? Jesus Christ. She just keeps sending a wall of clown emojis. He goes, I get it. Clown, clown, clown. This is so embarrassing. He responds with a horse holding up an iPhone in the mirror, taking a selfie. Okay, he chose to no longer remain stoic at the end. It took how many clown emojis does it take for him to just finally let her have it? I think he finally just let it happen. I get it though, the hay is for horses. Perfect closing to a nice girl nightmare. Oh, that's too funny, man. What is this one that I have for you guys? All right. We are going to end the stream today with a Reddit story. And we're going to end the stream with not just any story, but one of our famous Does It Survive the Gender Swap dishes. Since we are already so on a roll with this, I've got a good one for you. Rob Hellfire, so good to see you. Much love to you, Lord. We love you too and everything you do. Cheers. Rob, I'm so glad you made it. This one was posted too. Am I the a-hole? And it reads, am I the a-hole for giving my wife a dirty plate to eat off of at dinner? I love when you can't fully tell where things are going to go from the title. Like, you're thinking, like, that does sound like an a-hole thing to do, but I'm assuming there's going to be more context. My wife is a nurse, and she works long hours. Therefore, I handle everything in the household. She's been picking up more shifts recently because the hospital is understaffed. I'm the one doing the chores, taking care of the kids, making food, and I also work. It's all me. She has one chore, and that is when she comes home, she needs to do the dishes. I think that's fair enough. The way that I usually handle chore labor is typically, I think that whoever is like home more, I think should generally default to doing more of the domestic labor. But I think if you do work equal hours, even if someone is earning more money, I think that you probably should be doing equal chores when you get home, typically. So if they're both working, I feel like they should both be doing chores. If she's working more, though, I think it's fair that he picks up on more of the chores. And I think that having one basic chore to do every day when you come home is already baseline, not the biggest ask in the world, right? Like, even if you are full-time at home, I still think having to do one chore a day is not the worst thing in the world. You know what I mean? Especially because if you were single, you'd be doing it all on your own anyway. So one chore a day is not a big deal. The kids are usually asleep by the time she gets home. So I usually make dinner for the kids and wait until she gets home to reheat the food for her. The main issue is that she has not been cleaning the dishes. I've talked to her multiple times, but nothing has changed. She gets home, eats, and goes right to bed. She always claims she's too tired after the shift to do the dishes. And when I suggest she does them in the morning, she claims there's not enough time before she needs to get to work. Ooh. Once again, it's not sounding so bad now, because it's a fully capable man, and she's a hardworking, independent woman. I just do wonder how the tone would feel already if this was a woman writing about having to do it all while working, and a man is coming home and doing this. Okay. He goes on, it is extremely frustrating to wake up and they are not done. that leads me to having to do the dishes at some point. We were talking about this again last Saturday, and she has not done the dishes since. 4 days of not doing them. I have not done them either. I've ran out of dishes and served dinner to the kids on paper plates tonight. She got home after the kids were asleep, and I handed her a dirty plate to eat off of. I told her that she can use that to reheat the food. She was not happy, and we got into an argument. She called me a dick for handing her a dirty plate to eat off of, and that I was home so I could have cleaned some dishes. I pointed out that this is her job and I'm not doing it. That if she won't clean the dishes, then she can eat off a dirty plate. She's calling me a jerk. I told my sister of the situation, and she said I'm being petty. I don't think I am. Edit, because people have continued to ask, I work in construction 40 to 50 hours. She works in the hospital 36 to 60, highly dependent on what is happening at the hospital, if she picks up more shifts or not. 36 is her normal, and she is depending on the week if she grabs 1 or 2 extra shifts. Oh, man. No, because if the genders were swapped, I think that it's very obvious people would be saying that she is committing weaponized incompetence. I think that everybody would have a very easy time showing what that is. Doing 1 chore a day is nothing. Having to just do the dishes. And I feel like he's even pretty liberal about it. Like, it doesn't even necessarily have to be every day. If she did it every other day, I think he'd be happy with it too. You know, like, he's already willing to stretch and bend a little bit. And it's aggravating that she is taking that as like, well, let's see how far he'll stretch and bend. Let's see how much I can get away with. Right? Because it's like, there's plenty of you guys in the chat right now working 36 to 60 hours a week. Plenty of you doing that, and plenty of you also raising kids, plenty of you also doing the dishes. I don't know, man. Like, I respect those in the medical field. I also really respect construction workers. I feel like that's equitably difficult work. They're both working hella hard, and she can do the freaking dishes. Come on. Like, it sucks that it had to come to that point that he had to be an asshole, but there comes a point where you being an asshole so hard will force someone's hand. There are some times where you force people to have to be an a-hole to you. I really do believe that. Like, you can say, like, ordinarily giving your wife a dirty plate to eat off of could be potentially considered, like, toxic, but this is just a reactive toxicity. It's not even genuine. It's not like he wants his wife to eat off a dirty plate. He wants to be respected. He wants her to hold her down. Shiny Luna says if she hates dishes, she has to do something else. And I think that's also fair. Like, if she absolutely hates doing the dishes, I'm sure he could compromise. Like, okay, then just, like, when you can, fold this laundry. When you can, sweep and mop the floors. Like, pick something, though. Aaron says he does the dishes every 3 days. Yeah, if I really, like, for me, one thing I've noticed with, like, it depends on how you do them. Laundry, I can get away with only doing laundry once a week if I spend an entire day during the week doing laundry. Otherwise, we got to break it up a little bit. Dishes tends to be an about everyday thing, but you can get away with every other day, I feel like. Like, there are some times where I'm like, I would prefer that the dishes be clean from the sink, but I would also, like, family time is more important, so if it means we got to, like, watch an extra movie before bed, I don't care if they stay in the sink for a little bit longer. I want to see some of the top comments, because I did see that he was voted not the a-hole. Congrats, Reddit, for making a good decision for once. What do you have to say, American Jordan Peterson? Gonna be the avocado. The devil's avocado? Everyone sucks here. Ooh. Yeah, it's BS she's not doing chores, but the dirty plate is kind of petty and isn't really gonna solve anything. Give her a paper plate or something. You know what? Based, Jordan. Honestly based, though. I have to agree. You know, I think that, yeah, there probably is a way he could have presented that of like, hey, just so you know, until you start doing the dishes, we're just going to do paper plates. I think that that's a lot more fair. Now, to be fair, It's not as though he served her the food on a dirty plate, therefore making the food gross. He handed her the plate with the ability to reheat the food herself, therefore giving her the ability to clean the plate ahead of time if she wants to. That's why I'm not that mad about it. If he would have served her the food on the plate, that would have been pretty icky. Could have potentially resulted in wasted food, which I'm very sensitive about wasted food. Don't do it. Don't waste food if you can avoid it. But I'm just being like, if you want a plate, this is what we got. Doesn't really bother me that much. You know? And then Shadow God says 100 more likes, everyone, get on it. I think we can get 100 more likes in 15 minutes. I think we can do it. We got 50 in 5 minutes once. Yeah, get some likes if you guys want a free gift before I have to head out in about 15 minutes. Let's read some of these comments. Not the a-hole, and I probably will be downvoted for this. Puts in parentheses, never mind. She has one chore. You're doing everything else, including raising the kids, and all she needs to do is wash the dishes. If you have a dishwasher, that is literally 10 minutes. If you have one, in comment. Even without a dishwasher, it's like 30 minutes. Yeah, our dishwasher has been broke for a good few months right now, and in between, like, trying to secure our mortgage and having like all this other stuff going on, we just haven't been able to replace the dishwasher, so we are the dishwasher right now. And being a person who does a lot of dishes now, it really does not take that long, especially if you're in a good routine of just like washing as you go and you have like a drying rack. Honestly, you're usually fine, doesn't usually build up too much. They say you might as well be a single parent. You're not even a stay-at-home parent since you also work. You work in construction. It's not like you have an easy job either. Yeah, dude, exactly. You could even argue potentially that's like working 40 hours in construction is harder than working 45 hours in nursing because she's in an air-conditioned building. You know, there's less odds of getting hurt on the job in nursing than there are in construction. You'd argue he's got the way worse deal. Wild, because if OP was the wife who handed her husband a dirty dish after he refused to do the one household chore she has, people would be telling her to divorce him. OP works, takes care of the home, cooks and cares for children. He asks for one chore to be done by his wife, and when she won't, he should just roll over and do it. Right. Yeah, everyone is actually doing the gender swap here. But this other person has your opinion, though. Who was it that did the avocado? Yeah, Jordan Peterson. I think this person has the opposite opinion that you share, too. This person says, I was originally leaning toward everyone sucks, but I read this to my significant other who is also a nurse, and he said not the asshole before I got halfway through. Even working 12 to 13 hours a shift, he has time to do the dishes or other small chores. Also, they can't force your wife to work. She's choosing this, and it seems like maybe there's more at play with this complete level of disengagement. Is she even seeing the kids? Is the extra money truly so necessary that it's worth the strife? I don't understand why you're doing everything on a regular basis anyway. That's interesting. I didn't even think about that from like an escapism perspective. But again, maybe I would have had this existed in a gender swap environment, right? Because when a man is working tons of overtime, people often accuse him of doing so on purpose to avoid his family. Interesting how when women are working overtime, people don't even entertain the thought. Not even I did at first. I like, in my head, I'm thinking, well, what kind of mother would want to spend that much time away from her kids? You know what I mean? Like I used to work full-time corporate hours outside of the home, and I missed so much stuff, and it like crushed me. Doing all this YouTube stuff, it can be stressful, and I hate being a self-employed person during tax season for sure. But getting to spend all this quality time with my kids is all I care about in this world, dude. So I guess I like forget that there are moms who avoid their children. I guess I did forget about that. Oh man. Yup. Yeah, dude, that would piss me off though. You have one chore and you're gonna make a big deal out of it. Like, here's the thing, I think that it can happen to any working person, anybody, where there's a task that you're like, I'll do that, and then it just keeps getting put off, it just keeps getting put off, and your spouse is a little bit annoyed. I'm sure I've done it as well. You know what I mean? But there's a big difference between being like, oh my God, I'm so sorry I forgot to do that for a fourth day in a row. I'll get right to it. And oh my God, get off my ass. It's not that big of a deal. That's the part that I think makes all of this even more egregious. Is it's one thing if you're kind of in like an 80-20 relationship because your spouse is going through like a lot. You know, earlier this year I had to have surgery and I was out. I could not, I was useless. I couldn't help with the kid. I couldn't help cook. Like, TJ had to help me go to the bathroom. He had to help me like make all of my food. I was sleeping most hours of the day while I was recovering from surgery. Like, I was useless. And it, but I don't think that he resented me because I also wasn't being an asshole to him. I don't think that he resented doing the majority of the labor because I was extremely grateful, and like there was this common end goal of knowing that like ultimately we both had each other's best interest at heart. That is completely missing from this scenario though. Like, she could have at least been like, dude, I'm so sorry. I've just been like so freaking tired. Or you know what else? Like, there's so many other solutions she could have offered. You know, like, I had to realize at one point, as much as I'm pretty good at cleaning and I have my own ways that I like to clean, I can't do it all. I can't do everything and work and be an active mother and dedicate time to my hobbies, and neither can TJ. So we just, on a rare occasion, we'll go in on a cleaner together. You know, if anything, it might be like once a month. If we're really messy, we might pay for it twice a month. But like, shit, if they're both working full time in construction and nursing, they have $60 to hire a cleaner here and there too. You know what I mean? Like, she could at least offer to take something off the plate. I mean, especially if like that's all that really needs to be covered is like dishes, really, she could just replace a bunch of his other chores by hiring a cleaner. And then he would be happy to do the dishes at that point. If there's no floors to clean, if there's no baseboards to scrub, if there's no oven to clean, like, yeah, he'll do the dishes. You know? Are we so averse to finding solutions? I think that this person brings up a really good point, that she seems completely disengaged from the family entirely. And not to be too skeptical, but don't they say nurses cheat a lot? Ain't that a thing? Dude might want to audit the paychecks coming into the account. Okay, I'm just saying. Is she really at work? I don't know. Man, let me tell you though, that's fucking insult to injury. It's one thing if you gotta pick up the slack doing all the work, all the childcare, all the chores, begging your wife to help you with anything. But if I find out that the reason that my wife is actually too tired to help me with anything is because she's getting her back blown out by some dude at the hospital, I'm seeing red. I would be seeing red, boys. Ain't no way. Oh, hell no. That happens to a lot of people, though, I'm sure. That's why it's like, it bothers me when people, these affair communities, try and play up. I don't know if she's actually having an affair. Strong possibility, though. But these affair communities always try and play it up like, oh, it's just an accidental connection. Like, we're not trying to hurt anybody. And it's like, yeah, it's not just that, oh, but we're just trying to be happy. Why do you hate our happiness? Like, because you're using people for childcare and to pick up on slack during all the time that you guys are spending outside of the home, someone's got to pick up that slack. And look, in this case, again, let's assume that she's not having an affair. Let's assume she's just choosing to work a lot of hours. I mean, is it worth it? Like, why? If all you're doing is living to work, you just come home, you're too tired to do anything. You just sleep, work, sleep, work. Like, what's the point of life at that point? Right? That's why I'm kind of leaning toward a fair, because it's like, I know a lot of nurses who are proud of their job, but, you know, and a lot of people who need money. But considering there's been no context here of them having a lot of debt to pay off or anything like that, why does she want to be at work so bad? Yeah, I'm glad he got voted not the a-hole, though, received some official closure and validation on this subject. Oh man, here's some extra comments, though, from this guy. These are some interesting comments. He said that she doesn't want to hire a cleaner. She doesn't want a stranger in the house. Okay, well then do the dishes. No, man, you gotta pick one. You either get a stranger in the house or you gotta do the fucking dishes, lady. What? That's... Come on, man. Like, I kind of get it. No one loves having strangers in the house, but, like, that's just part of having a house. Strangers are gonna be in there. Like, he'll be there, too. Right? I'm assuming. Unless it's while they're gone, but, I mean, just buy some cameras then. Like, this is not that big of a deal. She's not helping him help her at all. Yeah, he says, I might as well be a single parent. She can't do one fucking chore. Yeah, the resentment and contempt is heavy here. This is not doing well for their marriage. No cleaner. She thinks it's a waste of money. Oh no. They have a dishwasher. She literally just needs to load it and run it. Oh my god. Yeah, that's like the hardest part of doing the dishes when you have a dishwasher is the emptying it part. But really, if you stay on top of emptying the dishwasher, you shouldn't even have to load all of it, because ideally your family members are rinsing and loading their own dishes. Ideally, if the person in charge of simply emptying the dishwasher is doing their job, that should be the only part of their job they have to do. The only time doing the dishes when you have a dishwasher gets hard is when you don't do the dishes. And it just piles up because no one has anywhere to put anything because you're not unloading the dishwasher, which is a task that takes no time at all. Oh my god. Literally, all she has to do is take the dishes out of the sink and load it and run it. And again, and still having to load the dishwasher. When we had a dishwasher, I insisted that everyone rinse and loads their own. I think that that's a fair rule for the house. Jordan says I retract my avocado. NTA, not the avocado. It's not a lot. It's plates, utensils, and a pot. I usually clean as I go. A bomb doesn't go off in the kitchen when I cook. Everything is in the sink when she gets home. Strong no on getting a cleaner once a week. I would just do it anyway at that point, but I get it. That would be a violation. I would be pissed if my husband had someone over if I insisted on a no as well. She can't do any chores that pertain to the kids because they're asleep. She can't do anything loud because the kids are in bed, so no vacuuming, no deep cleaning. I could stop cleaning and have her pick up the living room when she gets back, but that is more work than the dishes. We have a dishwasher. She refuses to wake up earlier. It doesn't help that she is a heavy sleeper. I'm not willing to stay in the marriage if she doesn't start pulling her weight. I mean, fair. I don't really see what they have to lose. If they get a divorce at this point now, the reality of the situation is, like, she's gonna have more to lose. Her best bet is fixing the marriage and working on it and staying in it, because if she doesn't and he ends up divorcing her, then first of all, whoever files first is automatically in a better position. Little legal life hack, not a complete rule of thumb, but a general one. Whoever files first usually has an advantage. So if he files first, he files for primary custody because he has evidence that he's been the one doing primary parenting, then she's going to be very likely the one ending up owing alimony and child support and getting screwed. You're telling, like, this is where a lot of people are so delusional, especially women who protect patriarchal systems like child support and alimony. Yes, I said exactly what you thought I said. Women are protecting patriarchal systems because they think that there's not going to exist a timeline where that flips around and screws them up the butt. You know? But guess what? We're in those times. You think these courts care what's dingle dangling between your legs or not? They don't care. All they care about is who earns more money. Guess what, honey? That's you. That's you, the one working all these hours, staying away from the home. So, like, just because you're a woman, just because you're the one who gave birth, does not mean you're going to end up with custody if he divorces your ass. Now, really think about that. She thinks she's so untouchable that she's going to risk losing access to her kids, having to split holidays all the way up, losing half of her assets, having to pay alimony, having to pay child support, instead of doing the frickin' dishes a couple times a week. And shame on men who end up in that situation too. Because this is why a lot of women end up divorcing men is, that there are bum ass dudes out there too who don't work as much, who aren't contributing to anything, who think that just bringing home a paycheck is all they have to do throughout the entire marriage. And then they're like, what? This divorce came out of nowhere. Like, I guarantee you that's how she would feel. Like, she would paint him as like this a-hole who took everything from her because she didn't do enough chores, as many chores as he wanted. And she would try to paint him as the misogynist. But, like, dude, she's really playing with fire here. Men can absolutely file for divorce too. They can and will. Just because it's not as often. Damn, dude. Yeah, he says he is outside all day in construction too. Damn. Well, that was about 2 months ago. There's been no updates since, but I have a feeling they're probably going to get divorced. And I don't say that very often. A lot of times I'm actually pretty, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Just like almost depressing about it, where I'm like, they're probably just gonna stay together, be stuck with each other forever. But I'll tell you this right now, even if he shows her this Reddit thread, and especially if he shows her this Reddit thread and like shows her, hey, people really aren't agreeing with you, people really do think that you should help me do dishes, I think that it would just make her even more mad, and she would just do even less dishes and double and triple down. And I think that the dishes are gonna ruin their marriage. I really do. I think that she's going to be really set in her ways, thinking that he's just being an asshole. She doesn't deserve this. This is so unfair. And I think she's also going to end up paying child support and alimony as a result. Unfortunately, just do the freaking dishes. That's all you have to do. Oh my god says, right, back for now with very little context, not the a-hole. But I've sent a mail, IG link, prints for pet tax, which sounds sort of relevant to the situation. I have time to go get prints for some pet tax if you want some pet tax before I head out here. We'll end on a high note. Let me go get a dragon for you guys. I'll be right back. BRB. All right. I have returned. with a dragon. He really does just like suit my style so well, you know? There's really not an occasion that you roll up with Prince and it's just not appropriate, you know? Just all vibes with this guy. But yeah, we got Prince here to leave him alone. Get away from my son, Miles. All right. Well, any last questions, concerns, shout outs for the end of stream? We do have another one in a couple of days. Tomorrow is a big cleaning day for me, as it turns out. As a wife who actually does chores, tomorrow will be a big cleaning day. But it's funny, I actually am hiring a cleaner and having a cleaning day. I'm gonna have the cleaner do the common areas while I like mass organize the basement. I just bought some new tubs. It's gonna be some good stuff. Oh hey, Matthew, thank you so much for the 10. Says, just wanted to say I love you guys and the community. It's a breath of fresh air to find people that actually uplift men without tearing down women. Kind of inspired me to make content myself. Yeah, we definitely need more of us like that out there. You know what I mean? Because it's really tough when you, like, it's the same with politics, you know? You'll find a place that's like making fun of liberals and you're like, hell yeah, some of these liberals are too much. Now let's make fun of the right. And they're like, get the fuck out. And like, same thing. You'll be like, oh, finally a place we can uplift men. And they'll be like, yeah, and don't women suck? And you're like, oh no, that's not what I wanted out of this. You know, but we've found our people. Emily King's really good about that. Obviously, Chloe's good about that. I love Lady J. She comes for everybody. Zonji says, Prince emote when? Also, thank you for showing stream time. Wait, what does that mean? Showing stream time. Am I dumb? Why do I not know what that means? What did I show? But yeah, I actually, yes, I do need to make the Prince emote. That's been on my list, my to-do list. I actually started doing it the other day and then I got distracted. I was like about to message the person who designed my other animal emotes and then I forgot to. So thank you for reminding me. Shadowgod says, push for 500 likes next stream. We can do it. Dang, how far we've come in this world, man. We last week I was like, what if we got to 150 likes? And now you guys are talking 500? The growth is strong. See though, the likes work. Aw, sweet Prince. Are we making moves, sir? Dude, he's such a cool guy. But as I always stress, bearded dragons are not beginner pets. They're extremely complicated. If you truly want to do it, you will be spending thousands of dollars. And there are so many ways to kill them. So do your research, okay? Oh man, and yeah, I definitely gotta look into when I can do a members only stream because you guys have certainly earned it. Did you just lick me? No, sir. I would not want a ferret. I apologize. They're too smelly. I know that almost every animal can be smelly, but ferrets, you need like, don't you need like a whole shit room for ferrets for them to just poop in? Bearded dragons are like children then. Yeah, children are also not beginner pets. You'll probably want to start with a cat. I love bearded dragons. I absolutely want one. Yeah, just make sure that you look into getting the right substrate. You need the UV bar, not just a bulb, not enough. Make sure you know what kind of leaves they can and can't eat. Get a good roach guy. I don't know where to get the roaches from. That's funny. I have deliberate cockroaches as opposed to Asmongold's cockroaches. They are different roaches. Difference between a house cockroach and a dubia, okay? just paused right on Prince. Here, you know what? I'm gonna switch to my webcam so I don't have to change out the whole battery here. There we go. I'll say goodbye to you on webcam. My backup Prince and I. A dog that looks like a piglet? That sounds so cute. Michael says pet rock and work your way up. For real though, start with a Neopet and then see how you do. All right, well, I best be getting out of here. I have got to return this lizard to his fake Australia. Now it's beeping at me. Now it's mad at me. Anyway, I will see you guys in a couple of days. Hopefully I can get this members only stream planned. This has been a really awesome stream. Seriously, one of the best ones that we've had in a while. I've had so much fun, and I will see you guys in the next one. Okay, bye. Wait, oh, I'm so glad. So every once in a while I get a super chat right after I hit stop streaming. Lately I've been really good at like just stopping. Gus says, did you miss my other chat? Yes, I did. Hold on, let me scroll until I see Gus. There it is. Wait, no, that's not it. That's Shadow Gods. Michaels. How long ago was it, Gus? Son Matthews, Zone G's. Another one from Zone G. I do not see yours, Gus. I'm so sorry. What did it say? I'll wait around until you can tell me what you meant to say, Gus. I'm so sorry. I truly do feel like the mother of dragons right now. All right, Gus, just email me. I'm sorry I missed your 4